Everything you desire is waiting for you to claim it. There's no creating involved, only invention through imagination and building through action. You are at the center of all your desires, dreams, and achievements. Welcome to Designing Your Life Today, the podcast that's all about your success, achieving your goals, building wealth through your business, and building your most passionate, powerful, magnificent life. Discover ways to use your purpose to connect you to serving others and living your dreams. I am Pat Council, and I know you are built by design to win. And it all begins with knowing how to tap into your success energy. Let's get on the path of discovery, decisive action, development, and unwavering dedication to your life's calling. It's time to embark on a transformative journey where your deepest passions become your most rewarding achievements. Embrace your power to shape your destiny, because this is your moment to do life with power. Hello, Power Up Nation. I'm Pat Council. And on Designing Your Life Today, I want to talk about why resisting the truth will not change your outcome. Have you ever heard someone say, I'm living in my truth? Well, there's your truth, my truth, and then there's the truth. And what's most important is that we understand the truth. Now, I wanted to talk about this because so many people work at achieving goals and working on changing things in their life. But one thing about the actual truth is it's very constant. And so when we try to create a truth that is not the real truth, we don't get the outcome that we're looking for. So this is why resisting the truth will not change your outcome. A lot of times people get very upset if you say something or tell a truth that they don't agree with. If you say the truth and it hurts their feelings, or they're not ready to hear it, or knowing the truth means that they must change and they are not ready to change at all. So when it comes to getting a different outcome or getting the outcome that you desire, the object of the game is for you to align with the truth. So what is the truth? The truth are these universal and spiritual principles that have been put in place by God, I guess, since the beginning. Okay, I don't guess. I know. Since the beginning, he put these, and I say spiritual truths and universal truths. There are some people that like to give the universe credit for everything, but God made the universe. So God gets the credit, but he put certain principles in the universe, such as gravity. Okay, so I think that's a universal principle. But if we try and create a different set of principles, let's say to live by, or to take certain actions, thinking we're going to get the outcome that we desire, no matter how hard we try, and you guys know try is my least favorite word, but it does apply in this case, because in this case, it is about you taking an action that's futile and you're putting forth an effort, and it's so difficult. It makes you so tired because you're exhausting all of your energy trying to make something change or make someone change or bring about an outcome that does not align with the truth. Now, does this mean that what you're doing is a bad thing? No, it's not about bad or good. It is about, are you getting the outcome that you are expecting, that you're looking for, that you're hoping for? It aligns with the goals that you set. So what makes it bad is that we get an outcome that takes us in a direction that's counterproductive to living and building a magnificent life, living and actually walking or aligning with a life that you were designed to live. You are built by design to win. So anything that's opposite of that, it is a false truth, if you will. And that's an oxymoron, because there's no such thing as a false truth. Okay. You may have heard the phrase false positive. Well, it gives the appearance of being true. It gives the appearance of being real, but in all actuality, it's not. And it isn't going to take you where you desire to go. So resisting the truth, that's not going to change your outcome. So I want to discuss 3 different insights that I believe will help you align better with your goals. And as we wrap up All Out April, I know you guys went all out to make some amazing things happen. And congratulations on all the great things that you made happen. However, if you feel like you fell a little bit short, then guess what? We've got May that's coming up, and I've got some great things coming up in May. So be prepared for the great things that I have coming up in May. If you're not on my email list, please take the time to get on my email list. That way you don't miss any of the great things that are coming up. Just to give you some, insight. During the month of April, I did share an email about a grant that's being given out, a $10,000 grant. I also offered a free masterclass to those of you that have decided that you want to learn how to build online courses and actually earn an income. And so what I decided to do, and while the company that I referred everyone to that's on my email list, that company, the training is amazing. Okay. And it will help you become profitable, and you get to talk to actual live people, which is super awesome. However, what I decided to do was to kind of get a little bit more involved. And I said, you know what, if I can recommend this to you, then as far as, this company and using it to start your online, courses, then if I can recommend that to you, then perhaps I can share some insights as to how I make my money with the online courses. And actually, it was set up to show people how to actually start bringing money in less than 30 days. So be sure you're on my email list. There were some other things that have been announced during the month of March as well. And we've got some great things coming up in May. And I may do the online course thing again because a lot of people were really excited about that. The people that attended that masterclass, they were really excited about some of the things that they learned, and they saw how they could actually create an income. So I may do that one again. I have secrets that I want to share. So to get on my email list, simply go to designingyourlifetoday.com and just put your information in the box that pops up. Also, you have a second email option. You can text the word join, add your email address, and text it to the number 904-787-6055. That's the word join. Type the word join, add your email address, and text it to the number 904-787-6055. So with that being said, let's get on with it. But you don't want to miss anything that's coming up in May. So let's talk some more about why resisting the truth will not change your outcome. First of all, when we are resisting the truth, and this isn't just about you saying I'm an honest person. This is about paying attention to the resistance that's going on inside you that's preventing you from accepting your good, that's preventing you from believing that you are built by design to win, that's preventing you from believing that you can, in fact, get to where it is you desire to be, that these goals that you've set, that those goals are very real, because you believe in them. And if the goals aren't hurting anyone, you deserve to achieve them. Of course, you know, the caveat there is you have to be willing to do the work. But resistance to the truth causes you to believe the opposite about yourself. It causes you to think that you're not good enough. It causes you to think that you can't achieve the goal, and you start to talk yourself out of having the best that life has to offer you. There's a lot of information out there. Sometimes people are saying, well, you shouldn't want too much. You shouldn't ask for too much. People have enough. And especially for us here in America, people seem to think that we have more than our fair share. But let's be clear. I can't speak for the rest of the class, but if I have more than my fair share, it's because I earned it and I worked for it. All right, I am going to speak for the rest of the class. I'm pretty sure a bunch of them worked for theirs as well. So let's move on. If you are not achieving, it's because you are resisting success. That is the opposite of the truth. That is the opposite of who you are. So in this case, you are resisting the truth. And nothing is going to change. In other words, the goals that you set last year, you're going to be in the same place. You were in the same place this year. The goals that you set this year, you're going to be in the same place next year because you keep resisting the truth. You have to be able to embrace how magnificent you really are and not talk yourself out of it. That's not being prideful. That's not being arrogant. Unless you're going around bragging to everyone else about how great you are. And there's nothing wrong with calling yourself smart if you feel like you're smart. It's all in how you say it and when you say it, the context in which you deliver it. But at the end of the day, it is so important that you embrace the kind of who you were designed to be, who God made you to be. I don't know why a lot of people want to play so small in their thinking, in their actions, and at the same time, but they want more. And they look at other people who have it and they wish that they could have what that person has. All right, which is on the side of covetousness. However, the object of the game is not for you to do that. It's for you to stop resisting the truth and embrace it. You know what? I'm just as capable as the next person. Here's something to remember, that whatever God is going to do for you, God can only do for us, can do for us only by doing things through us. So nothing can be done for us unless we positively accept it or we're positively receptive to it. We have to be open to receiving the highest and best. So when you start to think that you're less than, or you're not good enough, or you're not smart enough, then you know what you're doing is the opposite of the truth. So you're resisting the truth, and that's not going to change your outcome. That's not going to get you what you desire. So you're not achieving. Or if you're not achieving, and if you didn't do as well as you had hoped, well, if you did better than you did last month, pat yourself on the back no matter what. But if you didn't do anything and nothing changed for you, then you know what? All right, don't beat yourself up, but just get an understanding of what's going on with you. And it's because you're resisting your own success. You're resisting who you were made to be. Okay. Now, here's another point that kind of drives home what I'm saying. Why resisting the truth will not change your outcome. Another reason why is because the scripture says in the Bible, it says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you think you're poor, if you think you don't have enough, if you think you're not pretty enough, if you think you don't deserve to have anything good, and you embrace that, you're putting that in your heart. You are sending that message loud and clear that, you know what? I don't deserve to have more. So in other words, if you think poverty, some people think that poverty is noble and they think it's cute and they think it makes them special. Well, it does not. And, that might have been a judgmental tone, not intentionally, but it's in the name of truth. So it does not. Okay. So if you think about poverty, or if you think you're impoverished, then you're going to be poor. And so the object of the game, there's nothing wrong with you thinking about abundance. And this isn't about the fact that you're going to take something from someone else. That's not what this is about. This is about the fact that you are telling yourself, listen, I'm built by design to win, and I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am also made in the image of God. So I can actually think something, put it in my imagination, and decide, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to act on this idea because it's a good idea. Here's the beautiful part about acting on a good idea. A lot of times a good idea, it's not just going to benefit you. It's going to benefit someone else. Now, I'm not just talking about work. Let's just take something materialistic like a car. So if you bought yourself a new car, you know what happens with that? Someone else may be thinking about getting a new car, and you know what they do? They say, you know what? Wow. My friend was able to get a new car, and I've been wanting a new car. So now I'm going to muster up the courage and I'm going to get one. Not because your friend had one, or you don't want a car because of that, because that's a bit covetous. All right. And a little bit jealous, but you see what's possible, especially if your friend didn't always have a new car. Now they have something new, and you see what's possible for you. And you also say, you know what? I deserve this. Now, here's the caveat. There's no rule that says you have to get a new car. I'm just using that as an example. Okay. In other words, don't hold yourself back, and don't hold back on getting the good things that you deserve in your life. So that's number 2. Number 3, and we're going to kind of wrap up on this one. If you're wondering, well, how do I know if I'm resisting the truth? You say to yourself, I'm a good person. I'm an honest person. I like people. I do my best to tell the truth when I open my mouth. And so how do I know if I'm resisting the truth? Listen, just because we work and we tell the truth to other people, sometimes people care more about other people. Put it this way. They want to help other people more than they want to help themselves. And at some point, that's not how it's supposed to be, where you sacrifice all of who you are for other people. At some point, you have to rein that thing in. Remember, I was talking about the fact that I was doing so much coaching and doing so much work and wanted to provide so much to help people until I slacked off on my fitness, as far as exercising, not eating, but exercising. Okay. I do my best to eat, properly, or healthy. So, but I had to rein that in, and I thought, you know what? No, I have a lot of energy, and I want to keep this energy going, and I want to be excited about just getting up in the morning and jumping out of the bed. And even if I'm just going for a walk, okay, a 30-minute walk in the morning, I want to be excited about doing that and not worried about work. So you know what? Work had to take a backseat for a period of time. And when I say period of time, like in the morning when I'm doing my routine, okay, because I kind of pushed that out of my routine because I wanted to get to my desk. Okay, well, you know what? The desk will still be there. It's not going anywhere. So I think you guys get the picture. But a sign that you're resisting the truth is that nothing's changing for you. There is no outcome. See, we can fool ourselves. Okay, we can even fool other people, but you cannot fool God. Okay, whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. And when people hear that, a lot of times they think that that's a negative thing. That's not a negative thing. Listen, if you sow good seeds, you're going to reap something good. If you sow, seeds that aren't good, you're going to reap something that you don't like. Okay. And if you sow nothing, you're going to get nothing. I take that back. You will get something, but what you're going to get is something that makes you unhappy. You're going to be dissatisfied with who you are. You're going to be dissatisfied with your life. So I guess you'll get misery. All right. But a sign of resisting the truth is it's easy to figure it out. Okay. And that's when we procrastinate. When you're procrastinating on moving forward with something or finishing something, that is a sign that you are resisting the truth. So what truth are you resisting? If you know that if you complete whatever that project is, that it's going to allow you to achieve your goals, it's going to move you to the next level, and you do nothing, you're resisting who you were made to be. You're saying, you know what? I set a goal that says I want to earn this kind of money or I want to win in this area, but I'm not really doing anything, but I'm going to someday. What you're saying is I'm not ready to receive. I'm not ready to receive the highest and best. I'm not ready to get the things that I deserve and desire for my life. So that's how you know you're resisting. Another thing is you find negative reasons for not achieving, or you find what I actually call them weak reasons. Okay. These are like lame excuses where you say, well, I have a hard time getting up early in the morning. So by the time I'm ready to go to work, it's time to go to bed again. And of course, I'm talking to entrepreneurs, but let me say this to you, and I'll use myself as an example. I can stay up very, very late, okay? And it's really late, like 2 a.m. But you know what? I still have to get up at a certain time, okay? I can't sleep in. I could, but it would be counterproductive to my goals, achieving my goals. So I can't sleep in. And so I make myself get up. Why? Because I believe I'm built by design to win. And I know I'm here to do life with power. But I also know that I can't do life with power if I keep coming up with reasons to be weak. If I come and listen, we all have some kind of weakness, okay? Or maybe I should just speak for me. You guys might be like super, right? Amazing. But we have challenges in life that we have to overcome so that we can achieve the goal. That's why when you set a really big goal and you achieve it, you're so excited because you know what you had to go through to get there. So we all go through these things. So this isn't about you thinking, oh, well, I'm just weak and just giving up. That's not what it's about. It's about you recognizing, where am I resisting my own success? Where am I resisting the good things that I deserve in my life? Where am I resisting allowing the right people to come into my life so I can live my best life possible, or so I can share love with that person can love me back, or whatever it is you desire, whatever it is you're thinking about. These are the questions that perhaps you want to ask yourself. And here's the last thing that will help you know that you're resisting. If you are really operating in the real truth, the one truth, the only truth, you can feel when you are denying yourself your good. You can feel it. It doesn't feel good. Every time you're about to do something that's good for you, you perhaps get a little nervous. You start talking yourself out of it. And even if you don't say one word, there's a feeling in you that causes you to be still, but not in, let's say, a good way. It causes you to freeze. That's a better way of saying it. You freeze. Okay, if I just do this one thing, if I push this button, this is going to unleash all the amazing gifts that life has to offer me. Well, you don't push the button. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it the next day. So that goes back to procrastination. So, and that's, of course, fear. And see, fear has a way of convincing us that, hey, you don't want to have this great thing happen. Because if this good thing happens, you might lose it. And I've shared this story before, so I'll share it quickly as we wrap up. Years ago, when I was in Mary Kay, there was a superstar, in my unit, a young lady, and she was just amazing. I mean, she was not shy about talking to people. She was not shy about selling the product. She was not shy about helping women to find the right colors and everything. She was actually picture perfect. I mean, she was beautiful. Okay. And there was nothing to stop her except her. And when it was time for her to qualify to get the free car, the first level free Mary Kay car, she came to me and she said, what happens if I get the car and I lose it? And I gave her a few answers and I said, well, first of all, what makes you think you're going to lose it? Okay, so I asked her that question. And she says, I don't know. It's just a feeling that, maybe I'm not supposed to rise this high, this fast. I'm moving too fast. And so I said, well, you could always slow it down if you choose to. But then I also said to her, what happens if you get the car and you get super excited and you take things to the next level? And she said, ooh, that makes me nervous. And I said, well, do you think that's a possibility for you? She said, well, yeah, it's possible. And the one thing she said, and it's almost, one thing is when we listen to ourselves talk or even think, we get the answers a lot of the time. And one of the things she said was, wow, that would be amazing if I would let it happen, but I'll do something to mess it up. And there it was. And she was telling the truth, okay, in her mind, but it was not the truth. The truth was she was a superstar. She's built to win. She was making it happen. And all she had to do was keep focusing on being her most powerful self. And if she had focused on that and doing what she was excited about doing. And I asked her, I said, do you like this business? She said, I love it. I think this is what I'm called to do. She said, because I get to meet women and sometimes they don't feel like they're anything. And then when I help them find their colors and I give them a makeover, all of a sudden, she said, they start to feel better about themselves. And I know some of you may be saying, well, that should come from the inside. Yes, that's true. However, there are times when we needed to see something good on the outside to be convinced that something good on the inside is for us. So she was doing something good. And see, when the inside changes, yes, everything is going to change and you're going to make something great happen. But if you don't believe it, okay, this is why we have each other. This is why we affirm each other. We cheer each other on. This is why we say positive things to one another. This is why we tell a person, you can do it. You can do it. So it's coming from the outside, but it sparks something on the inside. It awakens a kind of energy and inspiration. Okay. So with that being said, what kind of truth are you operating in? Is it the real truth or is it the false truth? Y'all know a false truth is called a lie, right? So you don't need to lie to yourself. You can tell yourself the truth. Okay. The real truth. There is one truth. And no matter what someone else tells you, if they tell you what you're not, one of the things that, and I'm going to wrap up on this. I said I was going to wrap up before, but this is important. One of the things that I can honestly say to you guys, and when I say honestly, I mean because I've been through it, is don't always expect someone to tell you how great you are, how smart you are, how capable you are. Okay, it could happen. Okay, I've had that happen a few times in my life, but I can tell you this, there were times when I didn't. And the times that people were saying the opposite of who I am, I got the truth from God. You see, God is the creator. He made us. And so if he made you and he says, hey, you're made in my image. Wow. Now that's a big truth right there. Okay. And so when someone's telling you that you're something that you're not, and it's not good, and that's not you, instead of allowing it to make you feel like you're less than, then why don't you listen to your maker? Okay. Listen to the supreme being, the ultimate. Okay. And allow that to be your inspiration. Okay. Because that's the truth. And God is always going to come with the truth because God is truth. God is love. And that's love and truth. They go together. So with that being said, you guys, that is all I have for you today. And if you are resisting getting your best, if you feel it, if you feel that struggle, it's an internal struggle. And I don't need to describe it. I could take an attempt, but I think this podcast would be much longer. But if you're resisting being your highest and best, if you're resisting, if you're thinking there's more to me than this, why am I not doing more? Why am I not getting better results? If that's you. Or if that's happening to you, that's not who you are. But if that's happening to you, know this, you are here to do life with power and you are built by design to win. And the only person that can stop you is the person that you see in the mirror. Listen, you guys, once again, remember to get on my email list. because of all the great things that we have coming up in May. I hope you did well in All Out April. And so I will be sharing more about some of the great things that are coming up in May, the beginning of May. So to get on my email list, just go to designingyourlifetoday.com, or you can look in the show notes, click on the link, and it will take you right there. Or you can type the word join into your text messaging, your SMS on your phone, and add your email address, and then text it to 904-787-6055 and get on the list. I'm telling you, great things are going to happen in May. So you don't want to miss anything. So if you miss what happened in March and you miss what happened in April, you still got a chance. And May is going to be great. Listen, once again, have an amazing day. Have a magnificent day. Do life with power, knowing that you're built by design to win. Walk in the truth. Don't let anybody stop you.